Welcome back. It's many months ago. I've been reading on Wikipedia. I do it to relax and to learning something new about all kind of subjects. But I have like 400 web pages open on Wikipedia. I did close everything down, but most I did write down on papers I can find again, but many I did not. And now I did open some more new. I have few here. I did never read about this Airbus 350. So let's try to do that. But this camcorder is not good. And this computer makes a bit noise. The electric fan makes noise. So let's try reading.
Airbus A350. A350 redirects here. For other uses, see A350, disambiguation. The Airbus A350 is a long-range, wide-body twin-engine airliner developed and produced by Airbus. The initial A350 design proposed in 2004, in response to the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, would have been a development of the Airbus A330 with composite wings and new engines. Due to inadequate market support, Airbus switched in 2006 to a clean sheet XWB, extra wide body, design, powered by two Rolls-Royce Trent XWB high bypass turbofan engines. The prototype first flew on the 14th of June, 2000. Airbus A350. A350 redirects here. For other uses, see A350, disambiguation. The Airbus A350 is a long-range, wide-body twin-engine airliner developed and produced by Airbus. The initial A350 design proposed in 2004, in response to the Boeing 787 Dreamliner, would have been a development of the Airbus A330 with composite wings and new engines. Due to inadequate market support, Airbus switched in 2006 to a clean sheet XWB, extra wide body, design, powered by two Rolls-Royce Trent XWB high bypass turbofan engines. The prototype first flew on the 14th of June, 2013 from Toulouse, France. Type certification from the European Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, was obtained in September 2014, followed by certification from the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, 2 months later. The A350 is the first Airbus aircraft largely made of carbon fiber reinforced polymers. The fuselage is designed around a 9 across economy cross-section, an increase from the 8 across A330/A340. It has a common type rating with the A330. The airliner has two variants. The A350-900 typically carries 300 to 350 passengers over a 15,000 km, 8,100 mi, 9,300 mi range, and has a 283-ton, 617,300 pound, maximum takeoff weight, (TOW). The longer A350-1000 accommodates 350 to 410 passengers and has a maximum range of 16,500 km, 8,900 mi, 10,300 mi, and a 322-ton, 710,000 pound, (TOW). On the 15th of January, 2015, the first A350-900 entered service with Qatar Airways, followed by the A350-1000 on the 24th of February 2018 with the same launch operator. As of November 2024, Singapore Airlines is the largest operator with 65 aircraft in its fleet, while Turkish Airlines is the largest customer with 110 aircraft on order. A total of 1,344 A350 family aircraft have been ordered and 642 delivered, of which 641 aircraft are in service with 38 operators. The global A350 fleet has completed more than 1.58 million flights on more than 1,240 routes, transporting more than 400 million passengers, with one hull loss being an airport safety-related accident. It succeeds the A340 and competes against Boeing's large long-haul twin jets, the Boeing 777, its future successor, the 777X, and the 787. Development, edit. Background and early designs, edit. Airbus initially rejected Boeing's claim that the Boeing 787 Dreamliner would be a serious threat to the Airbus A330, stating that the 787 was just a reaction to the A330 and that no response was needed. When airlines urged Airbus to provide a competitor, Airbus initially proposed the A330-200 Lite, a derivative of the A330 featuring improved aerodynamics and engines similar to those on the 787. The company planned to announce this version at the 2004 Farnborough Air Show, but did not proceed. On the 16th of September 2004, Airbus President and Chief Executive Officer Noel Forged confirmed the consideration of a new project during a private meeting with prospective customers. Forged did not give a project name, and did not state whether it would be an entirely new design or a modification of an existing product. Airline dissatisfaction with this proposal motivated Airbus to commit €4 billion to a new airliner design. On the 10th of December 2004, Airbus shareholders, EADS and BAE Systems, approved the authorization to offer for the A350, expecting a 2010 service entry. Airbus then expected to win more than half of the 250-300-seat aircraft market, estimated at 3,100 aircraft overall over 20 years. Based on the A330, the 245-seater 350-800 was to fly over 8,600 mi, 15,900 kilometers, 9,900 mi, range, and the 285-seater 350-900 over 13,900 kilometers, 7,500 mi, 8,600 mi, range. Fuel efficiency would improve by over 10% with a mostly carbon fiber reinforced polymer wing and initial General Electric GEnx 72A1 engines, before offering a choice of power plant. It had a common fuselage cross-section with the A330 and also a new horizontal stabilizer. On the 13th of June 2005 at the Paris Air Show, Middle Eastern carrier Qatar Airways announced that they had placed an order for 60 A350s. In September 2006 the airline signed a Memorandum of Understanding with General Electric, GE, to launch the GEnx 1A72 engine for the new airliner model. Emirates sought a more improved design and decided against ordering the initial version of the A350. On the 6th of October 2005, the program's industrial launch was announced with an estimated development cost of around €3.5 billion. The A350 was initially planned to be a 250 to 300-seat twin-engine wide-body aircraft derived from the existing A330s design. Under this plan, the A350 would have modified wings and new engines while sharing the A330's fuselage cross-section. For this design, the fuselage was to consist primarily of aluminium-lithium rather than the carbon fiber reinforced polymer, CFRP, fuselage on the Boeing 787. The A350 would see entry in two versions. The A350-800 with a 8,800 mi, 16,300 kilometers, 10,100 mi, range with a typical passenger capacity of 253 in a 3-class configuration, and the A350-900 with 7,500 mi, 13,900 kilometers, 8,600 mi, range and a 300-seat 3-class configuration. The A350 was designed to be a direct competitor to the Boeing 787-9 and 777-200. The original A350 design was publicly criticized by two of Airbus's largest customers, International Lease Finance Corporation, ILFC, and GE Capital Aviation Services, GCAS. On the 28th of March, 2006, ILFC President Stephen F. Udvar-Hazy urged Airbus to pursue a clean sheet design or risk losing market share to Boeing and branded Airbus's strategy as a band-aid reaction to the 787, a sentiment echoed by GCAS President Henry Hubschman. In April 2006, while reviewing bids for the Boeing 787 and A350, the CEO of Singapore Airlines, SIA, Chu Choon Sen, commented that having gone through the trouble of designing a new wing, tail, and cockpit, Airbus should have gone the whole hog and designed a new fuselage. Airbus responded that they were considering A350 improvements to satisfy customer demands. Airbus's then CEO Gustav Humbert stated, "Our strategy isn't driven by the needs of the next one or two campaigns, but rather by a long-term view of the market and our ability to deliver on our promises." As major airlines such as Qantas and Singapore Airlines selected the 787 over the A350, Humbert tasked an engineering team to produce new alternative designs. One such proposal, known internally as 1D, formed the basis of the A350 redesign. Redesign and launch, edit. On the 14th of July, 2006, during the Farnborough International Air Show, the redesigned aircraft was designated a 350XWB, extra wide body. Within 4 days, Singapore Airlines agreed to order 20 A350XWBs with options for another 20 A350XWBs. The proposed A350 was a new design, including a wider fuselage cross-section, allowing seating arrangements ranging from an 8-across low-density premium economy layout to a 10-across high-density seating configuration for a maximum seating capacity of 444.75 depending on variant. The A330 and previous iterations of the A350 would only be able to accommodate a maximum of 8 seats per row. The 787 is typically configured for 9 seats per row. The 777 accommodates 9 or 10 seats per row, with more than half of recent 777s being configured in a 10-across layout that will come standard on the 777X. The A350 cabin is 12.7 centimeters, 5.0 in, wider at the eye level of a seated passenger than the 787's cabin, and 28 centimeters, 11 in, narrower than the Boeing 777's cabin. See the wide-body aircraft comparison of cabin widths and seating. All A350 passenger models have a range of at least 14,800 kilometers, 8,000 mi, 9,200 mi. The redesigned composite fuselage allows for higher cabin pressure and humidity, and lower maintenance costs. On the 1st of December, 2006, the Airbus Board of Directors approved the industrial launch of the A350-800, -900, and -1000 variants. The delayed launch decision was a result of delays to the Airbus A380 and discussions on how to fund development. EADS CEO Thomas Enders stated that the A350 program was not a certainty, citing EADS /Airbus's stretched resources. However, it was decided program costs are to be borne mainly from cash flow. First delivery for the A350-900 was scheduled for mid-2013, with the -800 and -1000 following on 12 and 24 months later, respectively. New technical details of the A350XWB were revealed at a press conference in December 2006. Chief Operating Officer John Lee indicated existing A350 contracts were being renegotiated due to price increases compared to the original A350s contracted. On the 4th of January 2007, Pegasus Aviation Finance Company placed the first firm order for the A350XWB with an order for 2 aircraft. The design change imposed a 2-year delay into the original timetable and increased development costs from $5.5 billion, €5.3 billion, to approximately $10 billion, €9.7 billion. Reuters estimated the A350's total development cost at $15 billion, €12 billion or £10 billion. The original mid-2013 delivery date of the A350 was changed, as a longer-than-anticipated development forced Airbus to delay the final assembly and first flight of the aircraft to the third quarter of 2012 and second quarter of 2013 respectively. As a result, the flight test schedule was compressed from the original 15 months to 12 months. A350 program chief Didier Evrard stressed that delays only affected the A350-900 while the -800 and -1000 schedules remained unchanged. Airbus 2019 earnings report indicated the A350 program had broken even that year. Design phase, edit. Airbus suggested Boeing's use of composite materials for the 787 fuselage was premature, and that the new A350XWB was to feature carbon fiber panels only for the main fuselage skin. However, after facing criticism for maintenance costs, Airbus confirmed in early September 2007 that it would also use carbon fiber for fuselage frames. The composite frames would feature aluminium strips to ensure the electrical continuity of the fuselage, for dissipating lightning strikes. Airbus used a full mock-up fuselage to develop the wiring, a different approach from the A380, on which the wiring was all done on computers. In 2006, Airbus confirmed development of a full bleed air system on the A350, as opposed to the 787's bleedless configuration. Rolls-Royce agreed with Airbus to supply a new variant of the Trent turbofan engine for the A350XWB, named Trent XWB. In 2010, after low-speed wind tunnel tests, Airbus finalized the static thrust at sea level for all 3 proposed variants to the 74,000-94,000 lbf, 334-20 kn, range. GE stated it would not offer the GP7000 engine on the aircraft, and that previous contracts for the GEnx on the original A350 did not apply to the XWB. Engine alliance partner Pratt & Whitney seemed to be unaligned with GE on this, having publicly stated that it was looking at an advanced derivative of the GP7000. In April 2007, former Airbus CEO Louis Gallois held direct talks with GE management over developing a GEnx variant for the A350XWB. In June 2007, John Lee indicated that the A350XWB would not feature the GEnx engine, saying that Airbus wanted GE to offer a more efficient version for the airliner. Since then, the largest GE engines operators, which include Emirates, US Airways, Hawaiian Airlines and ILFC, have selected the Trent XWB for their A350 orders. In May 2009, GE said that if it were to reach a deal with Airbus to offer the current 787 optimized GEnx for the A350, it would only power the -800 and -900 variants. GE believed it could offer a product that outperforms the Trent 1000 and Trent XWB, but was reluctant to support an aircraft competing directly with its GE90-115B powered 777 variants. In January 2008, French-based Thales Group won a $2.9 billion, €2 billion, 20-year contract to supply avionics and navigation equipment for the A350XWB, beating Honeywell and Rockwell Collins. US-based Rockwell Collins and Moog Incorporated were chosen to supply the horizontal stabilizer actuator and primary flight control actuation, respectively. The flight management system incorporated several new safety features. Regarding cabin ergonomics and entertainment, in 2006 Airbus signed a firm contract with BMW for development of an interior concept for the original A350. On the 4th of February 2010, Airbus signed a contract with Panasonic Avionics Corporation to deliver in-flight entertainment and communication (IFEC) systems for the Airbus A350XWB. Production, edit. In 2008, Airbus planned to start cabin furnishing early in parallel with final assembly to cut production time in half. The A350XWB production program sees extensive international collaboration and investments in new facilities. Airbus constructed 10 new factories in Western Europe and the US, with extensions carried out on 3 further sites. Among the new buildings was a £570 million, $760 million or €745 million, composite facility in Broughton, Wales, which would be responsible for the wings. In June 2009, the National Assembly for Wales announced provision of a £28 million grant to provide a training centre, production jobs and money toward the new production centre. Airbus manufactured the first structural component in December 2009. Production of the first fuselage barrel began in late 2010 at its production plant in Illescas, Spain. Construction of the first A350-900 center wing box was set to start in August 2010. The new composite rudder plant in China opened in early 2011. The forward fuselage of the first A350 was delivered to the final assembly plant in Toulouse on the 29th of December 2011. Final assembly of the first A350 static test model was started on the 5th of April 2012. Final assembly of the first prototype A350 was completed in December 2012. In 2018, the unit cost of the A350-900 was $317.4 million and the A350-1000 was $366.5 million. The production rate was expected to rise from 3 aircraft per month in early 2015 to 5 at the end of 2015, and would ramp to 10 aircraft per month by 2018. In 2015, 17 planes would be delivered and the initial dispatch reliability was 98%. Airbus announced plans to increase its production rate from 10 monthly in 2018 to 13 monthly from 2019 and 6 A330 are produced monthly. Around 90 deliveries were expected for 2018, with 15% or almost equal to 14 units being A350-1000 variants. That year, 93 aircraft were delivered, 3 more than expected. In 2019, Airbus delivered 112 A350s, 87 A350-900s and 25 A350-1000s, at a rate of 10 per month, and were going to keep the rate around 9 to 10 per month, to reflect softer demand for wide-bodies, as the backlog reached 579 or 5.2 years of production at a constant rate. The COVID-19 pandemic caused the decrease of A350 production from 9.5 per month to 6 per month, since April 2020. After the pandemic, a ramp-up is planned, aiming to reach a rate of 9 per month by the end of 2025. As the pre-pandemic rate of 10 monthly is aimed for by 2026. By April 2024, Airbus was planning a 12-monthly production rate by 2028 after securing 281 net orders in 2023. Testing and certification, edit. The first Trent engine test was made on the 14th of June, 2010. The Trent XWB's flight test program began use on the A380 development aircraft in early 2011, ahead of engine certification in late 2011. On the 2nd of June, 2013, the Trent XWB engines were powered up on the A350 for the first time. Airbus confirmed that the flight test program would last 12 months and use 5 test aircraft. The A350's maiden flight took place on the 14th of June, 2013 from the Toulouse-Blagnac airport. Airbus's chief test pilot said, "It just seemed really happy in the air, all the things we were testing had no major issues at all. It flew for 4 hours, reaching Mach 0.8 at 25,000 feet after retracting the landing gear and starting a 2,500h flight test campaign." Costs for developing the aircraft were estimated at €11 billion, $15 billion or £9.5 billion, in June 2013. A350 XWB MSN 2 underwent 2.5 weeks of climatic tests in the unique McKinley Climatic Laboratory at Eglin Air Force Base, Florida, in May 2014, and was subjected to multiple climatic and humidity settings from 45 degrees Celsius, 113 degrees Fahrenheit, to 40 degrees C, 40 degrees F. The A350 received type certification from the European Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, on the 30th of September 2014. On the 15th of October 2014, EASA approved the A350-900 for ETOPS, Extended Range Twin Engine Operations Performance Standards 370, allowing it to fly more than 6 hours on one engine and making it the first airliner to be approved for ETOPS beyond 180 minutes before entry into service. Later that month, Airbus received regulatory approval for a common type rating for pilot training between the A350 XWB and A330. On the 12th of November 2014, the A350 received certification from the FAA. On the 1st of August 2017, the EASA issued an airworthiness directive mandating operators to power cycle, reset, earlier 350-900s before 149 hours of continuous power on time, reissued in July 2019. Entry into service, edit. In June 2011, the A350-900 was scheduled to enter service in the first half of 2014, with the -800 to enter service in mid-2016, and the -1000 in 2017. In July 2012, Airbus delayed the -900's introduction by 3 months to the second half of 2014. The delivery to launch customer Qatar Airways took place on the 22nd of December 2014. The first commercial flight was made on the 15th of January 2015 between Doha and Frankfurt. The first A350-1000 was assembled in 2016 and had its first flight on the 24th of November 2016.